Hi, Tom Jordan here in my studio, coming up with the Super Bowl champion, and of course this year the Chiefs won it, impressively as a matter of fact. So I'm going to give you a little background on how I build the painting. The first place I start is with the content. Players are the most important thing, and when I work with fans, whether they be college or the pros, sometimes there's some landmarks, sometimes fans, cheerleaders. I really wanted to focus on the players that won the championship. Of course, I do want to celebrate the legendary guys from their history because it's part of their legacy. In celebrating some of the legendary guys, Priest Holmes was a more recent player. Will Shields, one of the best offensive linemen of all time. Of course, Lenny Dawson was the MVP for Super Bowl IV. Bobby Bell, a great Kansas City Chief. And Willie Lanier, I remember that name because he was all over the Vikings during that Super Bowl. And of course, Otis Taylor made it tough on the Vikes too because he's a big reason why they won that game. So then I also like to cover the history of the team, and I found the original logo I've identified over here on the left as in 1960 they were the Dallas Texans. And then when they moved to Kansas City, they came up with the one that I put over on the far right. So they do a nice job of balancing each other. But I also want to mix in some of the legendary guys like Christian Okoye. I put here over on the left. I think he was known as the Nigerian Nightmare. Dante Hall was a receiver in their past that did a real good job for him. I really look forward to doing this painting because this red, white contrast back and forth between the players. And then when you add that beautiful yellow trim that's on all the numbers and everything, this painting is really going to pop and be really visually fun to look at it. On the far right, I'll have a little nod out to Hank Stram and that famous picture where he's being carried off the field holding that piece of paper he carried on the field during the Super Bowl. So he'll be over on the far right. And then another fun thing that you can't see here on here is done a little research around Arrowhead Pride, which is it's something unique to the Chiefs fans. They really like, and I believe it was Derek Thomas did this thing where you put your hands together and form an arrowhead. I'll celebrate the Arrowhead Pride down here on the bottom. And then I also want to make room for the dates that the two Super Bowls were won because I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to do pretty well going forward. It's actually one of the most fun times for me because you can see the painting come to life, but all of these guys have been just what I like to call color sketched. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this update and look for another update or later.